Good morning, Sugar Plums. Welcome to your Tuesday reading. So I hope you guys had a great weekend, a relaxing one. I know I did. I needed to work on my energy and get it right back up again and to a place that could be helpful. So what are we doing today? Well, I'm feeling very introspective today is kind of how I woke up. And I was drawn to do a couple of things and pull a couple of items out for this reading. And I hope that they relate to these cards. I'm thinking that they will. That's why Spirit usually guides me to do those sorts of things. But today we're going to pull solely from the archetype deck. Okay, archetype is a term that was coined by Carl Jung to explain visions and voices and that sort of thing that his patients and then later himself were experiencing. So I believe that those were spirit that they were talking to. And that's why he coined the term archetype. So let's jump into it, okay? And let's see if we can't get some answers for how I'm feeling and what I needed to pull out today. So your first card, the Sustainer. Okay. Your second card, Thanatos. Okay. And finally, we have the Village. Okay. Okay. So the Sustainer. The Sustainer can be a couple of different things. But the Sustainer is you in your everyday life, or it could be someone in your circle of people, okay, that works behind the scenes, that pays the bills. And nobody recognizes that, or nobody talks about it. It just happens. Dinner gets made, laundry gets done, that sort of thing. But this can also talk about your higher self. And your higher self and the work that your higher self is doing behind the scenes that maybe you don't acknowledge every day or recognize every day. And it's the higher self that keeps you going, right? That keeps you on path, that keeps you directed. So it can be both of those things, okay? Or one or the other. This is going to depend. This is for the collective, so it's going to resonate differently for different people. Now, Thanatos. Thanatos can be equated to the death card in tarot. This is the ending of something. This is the finish of something. This is the inevitable, inevitable ending of something that it has to come to an end. The Village. The Village can talk about nostalgia. It can be about going home again. It can be about wanting to return to your old way of life. What I'm seeing here is break the binds that tie you to that. Oftentimes the Village will talk about, don't go back because it's not for you. You may not even be welcome there. You may not even want to go there. It's just that your nostalgia is bringing you back to that. But this, I believe, is your higher self saying, this portion of your life, whatever that is for you, is over. And stop looking back. Stop going back. You may be going through a spiritual awakening. You may be going through a tough time in your life and you think, gosh, if maybe I should go back where I came from and start over. Or maybe I should move back home again and begin again. But here, this is your higher self. This is that person that keeps you going, okay? This is that part of you that keeps you sustained all day and night, right? The regular everyday stuff. Saying to you that that part of your life is over and do not look back, no matter how much you want to, because it won't work for you. You can never go home again. Is that old saying, you can't go home again? Because it's not what is right for you now. You need to keep trudging forward. That part is over. And your higher self, that person that sustains you from day to day, that inner part of you that keeps you going every single day is saying it's done. We do not need to look back to this. We have surpassed this, okay? This is what these cards are telling you. It's time to move on. Stop looking back. This is not for you anymore, okay? Which brings me to what I have here in this cup. This is a piece of devil's shoestring. I don't read anything into that, okay? That's just the root, the name that was given to it. It's very interesting that this is the piece I chose to pull out, that I was inspired to pull out. Do you see that it's being barely held together? You have this little tiny bind between who you are now and who you once were, or where you once came from. And you can see it's being held on by a little tiny piece. Gosh, Spirit astounds me some days. And this is why I was feeling very introspective and why I was told to pull this piece. So what I'm going to do for you guys, for all of us, right? For those of you who are drawn to this reading, you have something that you need to break away from, to stop looking back and start only looking forward, because this old part of your life is over, and your higher self, that person that keeps you going, is telling you you're done. It's enough now. Now, devil's shoestring I often will use in binding rituals. But because this is something that binds you, devil's shoestring, for me, this is how it's represented to me, okay? That's why I use it. Because this reading is about letting go, okay? Because this reading is very clearly about breaking that bind to your old life, I'm going to do that with you now, okay? Spirit astonishes me sometimes. So let's do it. Let's break this in half. There we go. That was pretty easy. That was pretty easy, guys. That's your symbol of letting go. That's your sign. It's time to break that bind with your old life, because it's dead. It's over. It's finished. Wow. Now I know why I was feeling that way. Okay. Lastly, I was also drawn to pull a self-care card. Okay, this is from Sacred Self-Care, a sort of affirmation for you guys. Now I'm going to pull this back here behind the camera because it's a little bit tight space here, and we'll see what we get. Okay, bear with me. Okay, that was quick. That was really quick. Goodness. Okay, that was really quick. Usually it takes a little bit of time, but not today. I wonder why. What does it say? Let's see. It says, do a beauty ritual. Okay. So, this is Sacred Self-Care. This is a little something for you to do for yourself today. This could be take a bath, get a haircut, do your nails, sit and sip some fragrant floral teas, sit outside, do something that makes your physical being, right, this person that works so hard to keep you going, whether it's you or whether it's your higher self, do something to treat that part of you today, okay? So you can become closer in touch with this part of you, right? Your inner self that is telling you to let all of this go and treat this part of you and say, I recognize you. And here is how I'm going to bless you and give you what you need, right? Okay, I love that. All right, you guys, I hope that you have a beautiful Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.